bus, but it's a while yet, so I thought, why not walk? It's a beautiful day today. And it is. It's freaking beautiful. Sun's out, as you can see. Streets are kind of clean. But, yeah. Woo-wee, I tell ya. Life is really something else. But anyway, I am walking this way. And, I'm liking it. But, we are definitely on First Street. Big time. And then, well, we gotta walk. We're going to the college, actually. That's where I'm going today. I am actually going to the college today. And, there's always a message, my man. So I gotta check on something. Because I figured, what the heck? I can go to school and whatnot and pretend to be okay in that respect. So that's where my plan is, to go to college. It was a last ditch effort on my part. And so I didn't have too much of a, you know, when you grasp at straws. I guess that's how you call it. Anyhow. Wow. But yeah, we're going this way. I'm trying to you know, figure things out. Well, not figure things out, but in other words, so I'm planning on moving to Tacoma. That's what I'm planning to do, move to Tacoma. And I don't want to do that. I just don't want to do that. Okay, so that's my goal, to move to Tacoma, because in Tacoma they have a richer assortment of job opportunities, meaning you don't have to go through that whole business of sitting down, talking to some blowhard to try to get a job. Over there, you just apply and they pick you up right now. And you can be in an array of different jobs, big time. You can be in a whole different array of setup of jobs, big time. That's just the way it is. That's why I'm planning to go that way. Well, let's see here. Michael, and I'm searching in row. Yes. Hello, Michael. Hello again. Thanks for you always join in. I appreciate that, man. I really do. There's a few that actually go and join in, and I appreciate it. I've had a few more new subscribers again, so I just want to welcome the new subscribers, and thank you for subscribing. I appreciate it. But like I was saying, I'm planning to move from Yakima. I don't plan to like go away. I just know there's better opportunities in the bigger cities. You know what I mean? And that's the plan. Let's see here. Never heard of Rocky Point. Oh, wow. Rocky Point. There's actually a Rocky Boy in Montana. There's actually a Rocky Boy in Montana, but Rocky Point, North Carolina, huh? Might be a small city or something, small town. But anyway, so I've never had bad luck in Tacoma when it came to employment, you know, because for my ideas to take off, I have to sacrifice a lot. Okay. One of my inspirations for that is Robert Rodriguez. I don't know if you guys ever heard of Robert Rodriguez, but he is the director that produced, filmed El Mariachi, and he made it for $7,000. He actually made the movie for $7,000. I read up on it a little bit, and I figured you can do stuff yourself. It's not hard. I know that. It gets difficult when people start putting your hands in your pocket. Then it gets difficult. You know what I mean? You gotta have deep pockets to supply everybody. And so if you start small and just get the momentum, you can do it. So what Robert Rodriguez did was he actually went to those clinical trials. The clinical trials of prescriptions, and he made 7 G's out of that, and then he did his movie, which floored me, you know. So I thought, wow. And El Mariachi is a really, really good movie. I mean, it's you can tell that it's not a high money movie, but he did good. You know, he used his relatives in the movie, and when somebody got shot, it was an actual condom filled with ketchup. So that's innovation right there. So that's my inspiration right there. Another people that inspire me are the people that stand on the exit of highways with a sign that basically says, "Give me money." I get inspired by those guys. Now, most would say, well, they're lazy, they're bums. But wait a minute now. To stand out there and wait for money, that's pretty amazing. Now, here's the thing. When they do that, they obviously are making money, otherwise they wouldn't be standing out there. You see what I'm saying? So that's another set of people that inspire me. And so here, it's just, I mean, what I'm saying is, they made a market. They made a business, if you will. Because one, they play on people's conscience. So let's say an old lady goes by and maybe her son died in a war, or maybe she kicked him out and he OD'd. Well, she feels kind of guilty. So that guy standing on the side of the road might make her think of her dead son. So of course, she's thinking, well, if I give this guy something and it helps, or lady, and it helps them, then maybe I can make up for doing that to my son. You see what I'm saying? That's the whole idea. Anyway, so yeah, the product is them. The actual product is them. So they are in fact the product, and the payment is the change or loose change or dollar bills or whatever they give to the person on the highway, and the person is the product. So it's so crazy because I found when it comes to begging for money, it ain't going to be a shiny product. It's going to be a beat up, just a beat up, dirty, bedraggled, product. But I guess the more sour you look, the better. I guess that's what that is. The more money you get, the more sour you look. So that's kind of the inspiration I get from those guys. And like I said, it may be a lazy situation, but they're doing it. And that's why I say that's inspiring. So I have to do the same. Not stand on the side of the road. I couldn't do it. I mean, I could if it was like for a good cause, or, well, I guess I am a good cause. But no, I gotta work. I gotta sweat. That's just, oh wow, holy crap! Red Lobster's closed. That's crazy. I've never seen Red Lobster closed before. Anyway, so I have to sacrifice, and I'll actually videotape what I do as I do it. That way you guys can see. I mean, I'm going to try an experiment. That's just me. You guys will be able to watch. So I got to move all of my stuff out of my apartment and move it to a storage shed. The only thing is the storage shed or place is way across town. Now here's the thing. I can actually rent a truck and drive my stuff over there in one hit. Or I buy a hand truck and hand truck it over there. That's what I'm thinking of doing. It doesn't make sense, but I want to do it. I want to do it because I know I can. You know what I mean? And if I hand truck all my stuff over there, I save $60 or $20 or whatever it is they charge for renting a truck. You see what I'm saying? Plus I'll get exercise. Plus I'll see how society acts. Now here's what's funny about it. Because if I seen somebody like having a hand, let me see here. Have you watched the movie Rocky? Of course, yeah. Sylvester Stallone wrote the screenplay, and he was down on his luck. And the studio loved the screenplay, and they wanted to buy it off him. He actually had to sell his dog, to make it. And the studio wanted to buy it, and now he could have got it from the studio, the money, and then try to do another screenplay, but he banked everything on that. And he actually told him he wanted to be in it. You know what I mean? And they were like, no. And it was a success. It was a sleeper, I guess, because he was unknown. He even got sued by a guy who said it was his story, and he didn't ask me if he could write it. You know what I mean? But yeah, and it went off into a good franchise. I think there's 7 of them. Then he did Rambo. And that's another franchise. Yeah, so yeah, definitely a man with an amazing imagination. You know what I mean? And what I liked about Rocky was, you looked at him and thought, well, this guy's a freaking idiot. You know what I mean? The way he would talk and the way he would, figure things out and all that. That's the way I seen it. But no, he actually made something of it. And again, like I said, right before, he was on the verge of nothing. And it makes the story better when it goes that way. You see what I'm saying? It does. Like I said about Robert Rodriguez, who made El Mariachi, when he took it to the Sundance Film Festival, he went and he had a big, I can't remember the name of the movie production company, but they gave him $1 million and said, make it over again. And that's where Desperado came from. You see what I'm saying? But that's my inspiration. That's always my inspiration, is to do it from the ground up. You know what I mean? Let me show you guys what I mean from my own little experiences in life. Okay, so we had a 1999 Suburban, and we had, they're all grown now, but there was 5 little kids, or maybe, yeah, there was 5. I can't remember if the little guy was born yet. No, he was born, so it was 5 of them. So I needed that space in that Suburban for it to hold that big family. And we were moving from North Dakota back this way. So we got our tax return, and I said, well, I'm going to buy because the engine blew on the Suburban. And I said, I'm going to buy an engine, and I'm going to stick it in the Suburban. Well, I'd never done that before. I'd never put, let's see here. Okay, so I never ever put an engine in a Suburban, a 1999 Suburban, and the long one, the LT, the really long one. I'd never done that before. But this is the way I look at things. If it can be done, then I can do it. You see? So there was a few people, like there was a couple of guys who knew me, and they were mechanics, but they were looking at me like I was nuts because I'd never done it before. So I purchased a Suburban Chilton book, or maybe it was a Haney's. I can't remember, one of those two. And I thought, if I can get the tools, and I can. Well, one of the guys actually had like a tripod with a pull chain, and he said, "I'll let you use that." I said, "Oh, thanks, man." So there I am. I'm doing everything under the sun to get this engine out of the car, out of the old one out. I had just bought the new one. It actually came on a semi, and it was in a crate, and the guy threw it out for me. So there I was. I got, and it was a job. Oh my God, that was a job and a half. You know what I mean? But my motivation was the kids. I was like, well, these kids need transportation. They need, let's see here. Yeah, I did watch the movie Rocky Point. Oh, okay, so Rocky Point, Rocky movie. Okay. Anyway, so I got the old engine out, and I had to take that one back in to get the core for it and get the rebate or refund. And then I had to put this new engine in. So what did I do? I stayed there all day. I started at 6 in the morning. I didn't finish till midnight the next day. So 6 in the morning, all day long in there. So about 18 hours. About 18 hours I was on that car. And I didn't want to quit until I heard it start up. But their mother told me, she said, no, you got to get out from under there. You got to rest, blah, blah, blah. And I thought, okay. Because I didn't want to mess up the fine tuning of anything. So I went, and I went to sleep, got up the next day, and I finished it off. And I'll be darned, I got in there, and that bad boy jumped. Now keep in mind, I had never done that before. I had never ever put an engine in the car, but this time I put the engine in the car, and it turned over. So that was pretty darn amazing, that I thought. So for my own self, for my own dealings with life, I basically done it myself. You know what I mean? That's what I did. And so I go and I figure, I mean, like I said before, I know I'm going to have to sacrifice. I know. So in order for me to not have to pay rent and collect more money, I'm going to have to be homeless for a while to get that money put away. So I'll say, it reminds me of a story of my dad's dad, my grandpa. So my grandpa, my dad's dad. Now I'll tell you guys this: my dad was 20 years older than my mom. So he was 2 decades older than her. Which means that he was way, way older. Oh, look, there's the coffee shop that I'm going to be putting a mural on. That's the coffee shop I'm going to be putting a mural on. Right there. I'm going to be painting a mural. So I'm going to stick around in Yakima until I get that done. Because that's going to be like a $3,000 job right there. So that's going to be nice. But anyway, so, excuse me. So, let's see, yeah, that's the one. So, my grandpa, Jose, that was his name. My dad's mother split from him, went on her own, whatever, blah, 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 left him. I don't know the whole story in that. I mean, I can kind of figure if I see how my uncles and aunts acted, I could see the story of what occurred. I can fill in the blanks easily anyway. I won't go into that. But he worked a lot. My dad told me he worked, and I have that from him, because I do. People always say, you're always doing something. I said, I know, it's crazy. They say, no, for real, you're always doing something. Yeah, I know. And that's the way my grandpa was. My dad was a little different. I mean, he did stuff, but he did stuff that, I don't want to say didn't matter, but in other words, running but going nowhere. How's that? Anyway, so here, I don't know if my grandpa was trying to collect money to win the grandma back. I don't know if he was trying to do it to start a business. I don't know. But he had a pretty good bunch of money, and he had it in his, because he had a Model A. Now, if you guys don't know what a Model A is, it's a really, really, really old car. So that's what they used to call them. The Ford company made Model Ts, and I believe that stood for truck, and Model A, which stood for automobile. So that's what my grandpa had, and he had a little cash box that he had inside the engine. He had the cash box, so he put all his money in there. My dad said he saw it one time, and he said it was a lot of money. He said it was a lot of money. So my grandpa was collecting money, and like I said, I don't know if he was doing it collect impact to my dad and his siblings, you know, to have your dad killed, you know, and from what I gather, I mean, that dude was a hard worker, but somebody murdered him, took his money out of his Model A, you know. So me, I'm gonna do a little different. I'm gonna actually have my money in a card. So I'll deposit all my money into a card. You know what I mean? That way I don't have any bunch of money on me. Because it is tempting. I know. People see money and they want to go, hey, that'd be easy to get. Anyway, so I figure this year I'll do that. Now if I go according to what I want to do, it'll be minimal impact on me, but I'll be able to get things done quicker, in other words. See? So that's the idea. Never heard of rope. So anyway, here I am downtown Yakima. There's City Hall. I better go this way because then that's City Hall. No, that's City Hall over there. This is the county. This is the county building, and you can tell the difference between the county and the city because this being the county building, a little more nicer. They really put a facelift on it. Try to make it look more up to date or cool, I guess you'd say. And then you got over there the city building. That used to be the jail. Now they have their own jail. What I mean is, because their jail was outdated in that building, they had to take their inmates to the county jail and hold them there and pay the county for it. But then they decided, well, let's build our own jail. So that's what they did. They built their own jail. Oh, it's kids, scare me. But here, because they built their own jail, now they don't have to pay the county anymore. So that's the old jail, City Hall. And this is the county. So this is the county courts right here. And over there is the county thing like that. So anyway, it's going to be interesting. I'll tell you that right now. And like I said, when I go through this endeavor, I'll videotape it. That way, you guys get to see. I think it'll be a hit, to tell you the truth. I think it'll be a hit. I really do. I know my movie is. I know my movie's going to be a hit. I already know that. I already know that. I already have the. I already have the how do you say? I already have the screenplay, and all I got to do is shoot it myself. And I got to scout areas, so it'll be Greyhound buses, probably some hitchhiking, talking to people, letting them know my idea, finding actual people that want to work in film that's never done it but had the desire to. You know what I mean? That's the whole idea. And there's going to be some parts filmed here too, so that's going to be kind of cool. Because I've asked a couple of businesses if I could actually film in their buildings, and they agreed. So I'm like, yeah, because it'll give them advertisement, and it'll save a little bit on the budget because, saving money when you're actually doing something is a good thing. But and basically, it's just in case you go over budget, then you have the money to catch that. That slack, I guess you'd say. But anyway, this is the interesting street right here. This is like businesses, eateries. Interesting. So let's go this way. So this is a different part of Yakima as I venture out. Okay, so here we go. And like I said, I like this area. So this is going to be my office for a second or two when it's nice. And it's, I'll show you guys my office. Because it doesn't say anything about not having an office there. So I plan to have an office there. Oh, this is the old city right here. The old alleyway. But yeah. So this is it right here. This is where I'm gonna open my office. I might do it here, I don't know. Or I might just do it here, I don't know yet. Or right here would be okay, I guess. Because it's a nice setup. It's a nice little area. But anyway, so here we go. We're gonna go catch the bus to the college.
Wait.
Whenever it's gotta be kind of nice. It's gotta be kind of nice because I'll get to do it my way. I'm gonna enjoy that. That way, anything that transpires from it, no one can say, "Oh, I did this," or it'll be just like me doing it, which I like. Now, don't get me wrong. I am gonna have people that help me. There's no question. I am gonna have people that, that help out. This is a nice area too. This one's really nice, but it's private. It's a private area, so I'd have to ask if I can have an office there, but I won't because it's a private area. But anyway, here's the good old downtown Yakima. I remember years and years ago, met a girl. That's how a lot of stories start out. But we were kicking it at a friend of mine's mom's house. And that girl, we start talking, we're chatting, whatever. And she said, "Hey, let's go over here." Now, I'd never been there. There it is. It's different now, but back in that day, they had a restaurant up front and a bar in the back. And they used to do poker. Oh, here's a Millennium Park. Here's Millennium Park. right here. Kind of an interesting little thing here. At night, that circle lights up different colors, but it's got a lot of, oh, they really messed up there. Look at that. But yeah, it's got a lot of different things in there, but they really didn't do a good job. Look at that. The condensation in it is just, yeah, they did a terrible job. But what do you expect, right? Yakima. But this is Millennium Park. Holy cow, somebody actually opened that? That's crazy. But anyway, this is Millennium Park. We got a lot of different, since the sun's hitting on this, now it's nice. But it has to do with the stories of the valley. You know what I mean? Like this is the orchards. This right here is the orchards, or represents it anyway. That a lot of people have a background in, because a lot of people pick stuff from the orchards to make money. And then we got this. I don't know what that is. Marty Levin's School. Huh. That's interesting. And then we've got Mary Skinner, Healing Stone. And then we've got a Purple Heart. Wow. Letter from the War Department donated by Gladys Besant Bond of Yakima, whose first husband, Private Peter Besant Jr., died in the invasion of Europe. Oh, wow. Idea suggested by Lieutenant Colonel Robert Dennis. Purple Heart medal donated by Robert Water, commander of the American Legion, to represent all who awarded this medal. Wow. Purple Heart. Because you died in battle. Oh, let's see this one. Ancient people carved petroglyphs throughout the Yakima region, often on rocks overlooking rivers. This is a contemporary petroglyph. I emphasize the family steward of the symbolic animals as it grows from the past, fills the present, and gives hope for the future. The past, present, and future lie in this rock. Huh. Cool. But yeah, that's the stuff they put in here. Mocajete, that's a mocajete. Shaped of porous volcanic basalt, essential for grinding onion, garlic, chile, cilantro into fresh salsa. My grandma had one like that. But this is this is what they do. Okay, so then this is, like I said, Millennium Park. You'll have people come out here and put up speakers and tell people they're going to go to hell if they don't believe in God, and if they do believe in God, they'll go to heaven, that kind of stuff. But anyway, so as we adventure out further, we are now heading to the bus area. The bus area is coming up right now. Holy cow. Well, I'll go this way. But that's the federal courthouse right there. That is the good old federal courthouse here in Yakima. The federal courthouse. That's where all the whatever that is, that happens. Anyway. And then of course you got the old Capitol Theater. It's a little windy today, you can tell by the blowing of the leaves on the ground. Maybe I should get a plastic bag and do that scene from what's that dude's name? Does it go by? Is it on Knob Hill? I'm trying to remember. I think the college is on Knob Hill, isn't it? Oh, they're leaving. Darn it. Now I gotta sit around and wait. Oh, well, that's all right. I don't mind. I'll wait a while. But yeah, this is the this used to be a big place here. This one right here was just hot at one time. The bindery. I mean, it used to be packed out. Walls every, now they're selling it. I think maybe the family's getting old and they're tired of it, so they're They're getting rid of it. But yeah, this is the this is the this is the bus area. I am not catching the number 8. I just came back from the number 8, so I gotta wait. I gotta remember where. I think it's on Knob Hill. I don't know, but I don't want to sit in the shade because it's a little nippy. But this is the bus stop. I got about 15 minutes before they show up again. But I actually watched a dude OD here one time. But yeah, so this is the downtown Yakima. Have you watched Rocky? Oh yeah, the movie Rocky. Of course I have. But yeah, this is Yakima. This is where the buses stop. This is where, yeah. This has been here for a long time. I mean, a long time, big time. The reason I know that is because when I lived here as a kid, it was sitting here. So I got about 15 minutes. Unless people go to lunch at that time, then I'll have to wait a little bit longer. Maybe I'll go get a hot dog. I think I'll get a hot dog. I haven't had a crappy hot dog in a while. I'm gonna go grab me a crappy hot dog. But anyway, how time were we at on this time here? 37 minutes, that's it, half an hour. Hour to talk about nothing. Oh, let me see here. I think that stopped. Or at least I hope it did. Oh yeah. Oh no, it didn't. Okay, that's not, okay. Oh, wait a minute, let's see here. There we go. This is gonna be for my bus stop or whatever. So here we go. Not too much interaction today, but that's okay. So singing. So anyway, I met this girl, and it was funny. I'll tell you guys a little story about Yakima. So here in Yakima, I'll show you. Give me a second here. Watch this. You'll love this story. So that building right there is Connections now. But back in the day, it used to be a treatment center. That used to be owned by the treatment center too. Those buildings over there. It used to be Travel Lodge. I don't remember Travel Lodge, but it used to be Travel Lodge. And they used to have benches right here in this park. It's blocked off now. But this park holds a story. But they used to have benches in this park. And we used to have Bible studies here. And a lot of stories happen in this park. A lot of stories. I'll give you one story right now that's pretty amazing. But the DEA, the ATF used to watch us from down that way. The ATF, can you believe that? The Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms. They actually thought that I was selling drugs from here because we would have a lot of people show up for the Bible study, honestly. And so they thought that we actually were selling drugs. So the agent's name was Robert Wyatt. And I had interacted with him before because he actually tried to get me on a gun charge, which he couldn't do. So he was mad about that. And so we were having Bible studies here, right here in this park. And over there was the treatment center. That was the treatment center. And honestly, some of the counselors, they like what they heard. They told us, they said they leave their window open. So anyway, one day, one of the guys who would join the Bible study, he got really mad. I mean, really, really mad. And he said to me, he said, hey, dude, you know, I've been trusting in God and I ain't got no food. And he's cussing too. He's really, really mad. Let me go this way. I'm gonna get a hot dog. But anyway, he was really, really mad. He cussing up a storm. He's like, God ain't never done nothing. I've been praying and trusting. And I said, really? I said, well, I could help you out with that a little bit. He said, how? I said, well, there's a part where it says if we agree. So I'll agree with you. Whatever you're praying about, I'll agree with you. How's that? And because I'll agree with you, you know, it might have a better chance to get the prayer answered. So he said, okay, well, let's pray. So as we're there praying, our eyes are closed, you know, we're holding hands, and we get done praying, and we open our eyes, and literally, hope you open our eyes, and there's a dude standing there with a and a bag of fries in his hands. And I was like, what? And the guy told us, he said, yeah. He said, I see you guys here every day and you're doing a good thing. He said, so I thought that I would get you guys something to eat. And I'm like, what? He said, yeah. He goes, I wanted to do it before, but I figured today was the day. So my friend was shocked. He was like floored. He's like, oh my God, we just prayed. And then, you know, so then what does my friend do? He had EBT food stamps and he never checked them. So this whole time that he was complaining, he literally had about $300 of EBT food stamps on his card. So that whole time he was complaining and arguing, he didn't check his card and he had that on there already. You should have seen him. He felt like such a weirdo because here he is. Because I said, it's fine, dude. It's fine. Don't worry about it, man. You got food now. This guy bought us burgers. Let's eat the burgers. And then you can go buy. Now, what's crazy about that park I just showed you right now, what's crazy about that park is I thought, you know, people are probably hungry, so let's feed them. So there was 3 of us, and I said, well, I got EBT. I can buy a few burgers. One of you could buy buns or you know, hot dogs. Another one could buy drinks or whatever, and we'll just feed people. So one of the guys had a barbecuer, and so we start barbecuing. So people would show up. What's this for? I said, are you hungry? And they say, yeah. I said, well, it's for you. And before you know it, more people showed up. So we started running out of food. Now, what's really crazy is, and I didn't tell anybody to do this. I did not tell anyone. You can see my shadow. Hi. Anyway, I did not tell anybody to do this. But the people that had already eaten, they were like, hey, I have EBT. Can I go buy something? Go ahead, go buy something. Before you know it, the people who had already eaten were buying stuff so the next group of people could eat. And I didn't tell anybody to do that. They did that on their own. And that floored me. That literally floored me. Because the giving and all that was going on, that happened. I mean, there was so many people standing there. The thing was crowded. I'm not even kidding. Just people coming to eat. That floored me. You know? And I ain't gonna say I saw the goodness of people or I saw people that were better or whatever. I'm just saying, people were hungry. They got to eat. That was amazing. You know what I mean? Anyway, so here I am walking down Yakima Avenue. This is nice. I'm going to go into 7-Eleven and get a burger or a hot dog, if you will. I'm going to have to show you guys my kicks. Check those out. Adidas. Gold colored Adidas. You know how much I bought them for? $7. Look at those bad boys. Those are chunky, man. And I bought those suckers for $7. Pretty cool, huh? Anyway, so more stories about me in Yakima. I didn't realize I had so many stories in this town, but I do. Like even that light over there. That stoplight right there, you can see it. There's a story with that stoplight too. Okay, big story with that stoplight. The one right there, I'll show you. That one right there. So, my dad had cancer, esophageal cancer. And I mean, he was suffering. I mean, he was suffering like you wouldn't believe. I couldn't believe how much he was suffering. Which told me he had a high velocity to handle pain. But he had that. And I told him, when he didn't want to go down, he didn't want to listen to nobody. Well, his brother finally told him, hey, go to the doctors. Now watch, you're going to trip on this. Because as we're coming back to Yakima from Tacoma, I was driving this road right here in his car, taking him to the hospital that way, because the hospital was that way. And at that light, he said, you know, I don't want to go today. I mean, he changed his mind. So I basically told him, I said, check this out. If you want to die, it's going to have to be on you. It ain't going to be on me. I said, go ahead and die. I mean, if you want to die, go ahead and die, dude. I'm not going to do it. And so he goes and he okay, just take me. No, actually what I did was I start walking away. I think I got this far. And I left that car door open at that light. I left that car door open. And all of a sudden I hear honk, honk, honk. That's what I hear again and again. Honk, honk, honk. And I thought, okay, what's going on here? And I went over there. He said, okay, take me. That's how he ended up going to the hospital, though. Isn't that wild here? He's dying. Now this is what's crazy. This is how stubborn he was. This is how stubborn my dad was. When he first got his diagnosis, the doctor told him, okay, if we do the chemo and we do everything, you have an 80% chance of survival, which basically means he's going to survive. Of course, he was going to have to get chemo, so he was going to get skinny and lose his hair or whatever. And they said, but 80%, I mean, that means you're going to live, right? That's what that means. But what did he decide? He said, well, I don't believe him. So 2 years later, when I finally took him back, and I'm not kidding you, because the cancer was in his esophagus, he couldn't swallow. Because of his esophagus being blocked, he couldn't swallow anything, so everything kept coming back on him. So he was sucked up like if you took a washcloth or a towel and you stick it in water and then you pull your hand under it and pull up. It's like the skin was hanging on him like that. That's how much he suffered. So what happened was, when he finally went back again, the doctor told me, he said, okay, I told him when he came in the first time, now he's only got a 20% chance. I said, oh crap. So they did all they could. I mean, they did all they could. They did the chemo. He had to be in a nursing home for a while. He didn't want to be there. So he had to go stay with one of my cousins. And I was willing to take care of him. I literally, really, really was willing to take care of him. But he was so stubborn that, okay, I said, fine. And so he ended up, and it's crazy because he had to actually literally eat from a tube on his stomach. So they put a hole in his stomach. It was a little piece of plastic there. He could cork it up or plug it up with some kind of thing. But the tube, he had to stick in there, turn it, and then a plunge. There was a plunger on it that he had to plunge into his stomach so he could eat. Literally. His esophagus was no good. So he could not take any nutrients in. He could not take any, that's sad. But that's how stubborn he was. So what I did was, and now don't get me wrong, it's hard. But I tried to live opposite of that, where I want to be open and, where I want to be sensitive to those around me, where I don't want to collect stuff that ain't going to matter anyway, Because actually my dad had like 5-6 cars on his yard. And he always talked about how he was gonna fix him someday. Literally, that's what he did, and he never fixed them. You know, that's another story in itself. Anyway, that's how stubborn he was. That's how stubborn he was. So right now, I want to give a shout out to the usual watchers, which is Catherine Kennedy. I don't see her today, but I'm gonna give her a shout out. And then Xavier, another guy who watches a lot. I don't see him today, but I'm gonna give him a shout out. It is Monday, and a lot of people. He said, "I just passed you by 7-Eleven." That's pretty freaking good for a crappy dog. This ain't bad. I was even thinking about opening a hot dog stand here in Yakima. Maybe. Damn, wind. Old man. I can't believe I lost some of my coffee there. Well, that's messed up. Anyway. Should be a garbage can here somewhere. Damn, I lost some of my coffee. I don't like that. I love coffee. There should be a garbage can here somewhere. There usually is. Now I'm doing weird voices like that chick. I should go buy a kite and fly it. in commemoration of my uncle. Anyway, yeah, I bought me a freaking hot dog. I guess I'll kill this off and throw it away. There we go. Now we're back. Sorry about that, guys. I didn't mean to cut you off like that. Okay, so this right here used to be the Greyhound. I messed up on the tape, so I have to redo it again. But I do like the music it's making. Okay, now I gotta wait again. Oh, but that's good. Let me see here. Okay, so I gotta wind it again. How you guys like this cassette thing I bought? Check that out. It's an actual tape cassette player. Because I like tapes. I like it better than digital. And that's the truth. Anyway, oh boy, I tell you. Here I go once again. Oh yeah, that used to be the Greyhound back in the day. That right there was the Greyhound bus station right there. That was the actual Greyhound station where they actually had lockers, where they actually had seats, where they actually had little seats that had little TVs on them. And if you wanted to watch TV, you had to pay a quarter. I think it was 15 minutes of TV for a quarter. Or something like that. But yeah, that's what they had there back in the day. And then now they got nothing. Now it used to be a Starbucks, no more. A pizza place and something else. But yeah, that was way back when. I don't know if you guys ever remember that stuff. I don't know what happened here. Did I hit something wrong? Because I can't see any comments or nothing. Let's see. No, I don't want to do that. Cancel. I don't know what happened to the comment section because I don't. Anyway, so I'm walking. Whew. So this is old. I gotta go back to the thing because I gotta go to college and see if yeah. But this is nice. This is real nice. Oh boy. Yeah, it's terrible how society deems that if you have a 40-hour week job, you pay your taxes, you pay this, pay that. You basically have to pay to live on a planet that nobody made. That's pathetic. Oh, but then you might say, well, it provides you. No, it doesn't. You to that idea, and that's sad. It's sad. You know. I bought into it for a minute, but I'm like, nah, I'm sorry. I can't buy it. I'm not a, well, anyway. Here we go. Yeah, some of you probably disagree with me, but I know. But here I go. Here I go. It's kind of funny because I think about the pool games that I played, and most of the people that actually play pool now, that actually intermingle with each other, wouldn't have never done that if I didn't initiate the games, which floors me because oh gee, I think this is ready now. Anyway, because I am a rascal when it comes to the pool. I like to play it a lot, and I like to compete, and I like to beat people. And there's a kid that I played with. Well, he's older now. He's gonna be 21 next year. But I showed him a few things on my game. To roll the dice. Okay. But yeah. Here we go. This is the bus transit area. I don't know what happened to the dang for some reason I can't explain. Never. Anyway, God, I hope I put that away. The word. There it is. Hallelujah. But this is the transit center. Okay, I'm gonna stop because nobody's. Let's see here. I don't even know how to stop this dang thing. Oh, there we go. Is that it? Yeah, I'm gonna stop it right now. I'm gonna get rid of it.